a cheesecake challenge brought to you by Supermoms. I am slightly obsessed with my pressure cooker, and I also love to bake cheesecake. It's one of the only things I bake, and people like it a lot. So I wanted to try making a cheesecake in my pressure cooker because I read you could do it. And then I thought it'd be fun, Peggy, to have a cheesecake challenge. Like, which is better, oven or pressure cooker? Plus, the benefit of this is now we're gonna have 2 cheesecakes to eat.
Yes, yes.
Peggy, I've already baked a cheesecake in the oven, but now we are going to assemble the cheesecake for the pressure cooker. Okay. You know I love this thing.
So happy for you.
When I looked at the cooking instructions for the cheesecake, it is 40 minutes in the pressure cooker, which is about the same as the oven, honestly. But the cooling process is a lot easier because the cooling process when you bake a cheesecake in the oven, depending on how you do it, is a little bit tedious because you have to set the timer and cool a certain way for a certain amount of time and then set the timer again and cool a certain way. So it appears to me that we can just bring right on out.
Exciting.
Also, the thing I like about pressure cookers is often if you want to make everything fresh for people, your oven is tied up or your stovetop is tied up. So this gives you another vehicle to make something in. And finally, if it is hot outside, which it's not right now, but using the pressure cooker doesn't heat up the oven or make your house hotter. So,
bonus.
All right, we are going to now assemble the cheesecake to make in the pressure cooker. And I've made most of the ingredients already. I have a guilty secret about my cheesecake.
Tell me.
I double the crust recipe because who are we kidding? The crust is the best part of the cheesecake.
So it makes it thicker or it goes up the side?
Taller, thicker,
side?
all of it.
Yes, yes.
All crust all the time.
Oh.
So
I love that.
Yes.
That's my favorite part.
So this is basically a mixture of walnuts, graham crackers, cinnamon, butter. It's a low-cal recipe. And basically all I do is take my springform pan, and this is a 7-inch pan, which is smaller than I usually use because I want it to fit.
Oh, so you get yourself one of those?
Yep. And then, and actually, in fact, I ordered this online, and it specifically said to fit in a 6-quart.
No, everybody's onto this thing now. Okay.
They're all on it. They're on it. So I'm pouring this in, and then I'm going to do this so you don't have to get messy. But you basically pat the crust, and because our firm butter is involved, it smooths down, and you just pat
Holds
this.
together.
Holds together. Yep.
Looks good.
All right, so I pat our crust down, and we are all set to go.
And you don't have to bake that or like.
This bakes with the cheesecake. Okay. So again, it's just like cinnamon, butter, walnuts, graham crackers. I think that's actually, I think that is what it is.
All right.
Then we have got our cheesecake kind of batter, if you will, that I've made, which is cream cheese, eggs, sugar, vanilla, milk, and flour.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so honestly, the recipe, I'm going to go ahead and credit where I got my recipe from, which is Better Homes and Gardens cookbook.
Okay.
It's tried and true. It works for me every time. Only thing is I double the crust. Double the crust. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this in here. And you don't want to overfill it. So that's the thing, the recipe that I made, and I made my exact same recipe. I looked this up online, and they had a different recipe, but to do the true challenge, I wanted to make my exact recipe with, because you can do sour cream in cheesecake, you can do a lot of different things. But anyways, so you don't want...
So apples to apples, we're comparing.
Yes, apples
Just the
to
only
apples.
thing is this is different.
Yep. So you don't want this to get too full. So I put the filling in, and then of course, like more crust is more crust. So I'm gonna go ahead. The same crust is also the topping.
Okay.
So you put a little bit of that on the top. It makes it pretty, of course. And then I'm gonna put it on this trivet that came with my pressure cooker. And we've put in 1.5 cups of water. I'm gonna lower this down. We're gonna turn the pressure cooker on to manual or pressure cook, whichever your system has. And then we're gonna turn the pressure to high, set the timer for 40 minutes, and we should be in business.
Great.
Let's do it. Here are our finished cheesecakes. This is the one that was made in the pressure cooker, and this one was made in the oven. Honestly, I probably overcooked it just a smidge. Hopefully people won't notice. Let's just see what people have to say about these. I've let my taste testers in, and they are blindfolded. And now we are going to decide which is better, oven baked or pressure cooker. All right, can everyone find a fork? Try to find your left fork, left hand. Okay. Oh, good. Okay, there you go. Okay, yes? Yes. Okay. Take a bite.
I want to make sure it goes in my mouth.
Okay. Cheesecake.
Good.
Number 1.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay. Now, okay. Now find your right fork. Yep, you got it. Okay. This.
Is there something on it?
Yeah, there's something.
Are we waiting to eat together?
Eat it now. Go ahead.
First one is
I
good.
can't see what anyone else is doing.
Thoughts?
The right one was a little more runny, I feel like. The
More
texture was
runny?
A little bit different.
Interesting. What about you, Peggy?
Both are good. Both are good.
I
Okay.
agree, they both taste good.
They
Okay.
both taste
Tastes really
awesome.
Okay. So no preference, which is actually
I-
fine because now we know a pressure cooker.
I think
versus
maybe,
oven.
I would say maybe this one for me.
The left one.
I
Okay.
don't know what that
I would
Cheesecake.
agree with that. It's just
Left?
a little more dense.
Lisa.
Yes, same.
The pressure cooker.
The pressure
won!
cooker?
Really?
No, wait, can I take it off?
Yeah, take it out. Pressure cooker, oven. And actually that's interesting because remember, I don't know if you guys heard me say, I felt like I overcooked the oven one and you're
Oh.
saying
And
that.
it was a little
No,
more,
this
it was
one
still
was
good.
really
I'd
good.
still eat it.
Okay.
I'd still eat both.
Super dense.
Okay, now we
What
know.
about a topping?
What? I got
Do
you.
we have topping?
We got, yeah, there's topping. Just a minute. Okay. Okay.
Good, right?
So good. I made it. It's so great. That is fun. That's surprising to me.
It's not runny. It's just
It's creamier,
Yeah.
but
Much creamier.
both good, right?
both good.
Who wants some cheesecake?
Everyone.
Okay. Thanks, you guys, for taste testing with me.
Thank you.
Such a chore.
This was so fun. Show us what you make in your pressure cooker. Send pics to Facebook. Just find the Happy House.